Let me ask you a question. Who controls your happiness? Is it the people around you? Your job? Your finances? The weather? If you're waiting for the world to make you happy, you'll be waiting forever. Happiness isn't something you stumble upon. It's not dependent on the circumstances around you. Happiness is a decision, a skill, and a practice, and it starts with you. Happiness is not something that falls into your lap when life aligns perfectly. It is not dependent on your job title, your bank account, or the approval of others. Happiness is a choice you make every single day. It begins with the decision to take responsibility for your emotional state rather than handing that power over to external circumstances. The moment you realize that happiness is within your control, you reclaim your ability to live life on your terms. Circumstances are temporary. They ebb and flow like the tide. If your happiness is tied to these external conditions, it will always be fragile and fleeting. One moment you might feel on top of the world, the next you feel crushed because something didn't go as planned. But when you choose happiness as your default state, regardless of what's happening around you, you create a foundation of peace and resilience that no circumstance can shake. Choosing happiness begins with your mindset. Your thoughts shape your reality, and you have the power to direct those thoughts. If you dwell on what's missing, what's wrong, or what might go wrong, your mind will magnify those things. But when you shift your focus to gratitude, to what you already have, and to the possibilities in front of you, your experience of life transforms. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools for creating happiness because it shifts your attention to abundance instead of lack. Your beliefs also play a significant role in this choice. If you believe that happiness is something you'll find someday when you achieve a certain goal, buy a certain thing, or reach a certain milestone, you'll always be chasing it. But if you believe that happiness is something you can access right now simply by shifting your focus and perspective, you open the door to experiencing it in every moment. Your beliefs about happiness determine whether it feels distant or within reach. Happiness is also a practice. It's not about making one choice and being done. It's about consistently choosing to see the good, even when life gets challenging. It's about recognizing when negativity creeps in and intentionally redirecting your thoughts. This practice requires awareness and effort, but over time it becomes second nature. Just like any habit, the more you practice choosing happiness, the easier it becomes to maintain, even in difficult situations. One of the biggest misconceptions about happiness is that it's tied to avoiding discomfort or pain. But happiness isn't the absence of challenges, it's how you show up in the face of them. It's about finding meaning in struggle, growth in setbacks, and strength in adversity. When you choose happiness, you're not denying the reality of hardships, you're choosing not to let them define your emotional state. This shift in perspective allows you to remain grounded and hopeful no matter what life throws your way. Your emotional state is also influenced by your physiology. When you smile, breathe deeply, and carry yourself with energy, you're signaling to your brain that you feel good. This simple act of changing your physical state can have a profound impact on your emotional state. Even when you don't feel happy, choosing to act as if you are standing tall, moving with purpose, and smiling can start to shift your feelings. Happiness is a choice you can reinforce through your body as well as your mind. Another key element of choosing happiness is letting go of the need to control everything. Many people tie their happiness to outcomes. They'll feel happy if something specific happens or if people behave a certain way. But the truth is, you can't control most of what happens outside of you. What you can control is your response. When you let go of the need to control external events and instead focus on how you choose to feel, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and frustration. Happiness is also about perspective. Two people can experience the same situation, and one feels miserable while the other feels content. The difference lies in how they interpret the experience. Choosing happiness means choosing to see challenges as opportunities, failures as lessons, and setbacks as redirections. It's about rewriting the story you tell yourself about what's happening, choosing a version that empowers you instead of one that drains you. Relationships play a role in this choice as well. Surrounding yourself with positive, uplifting people can make it easier to choose happiness. But it's also important to recognize that your happiness doesn't depend on anyone else. No one else can make you happy. That power lies within you. When you stop looking to others for validation or fulfillment, you free yourself to cultivate happiness from within, regardless of what others say or do. Choosing happiness also involves forgiveness of others and of yourself. Holding on to anger, resentment, or regret weighs you down and keeps you stuck in the past. When you choose to let go of these negative emotions, you create space for happiness to thrive. Forgiveness is not about condoning bad behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the burden of carrying pain. It's about choosing peace over conflict, love over bitterness, and happiness over suffering. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. and it's either working for you or against you. The thoughts you think repeatedly create the neural pathways in your brain that shape your perspective and influence your actions. If you've been stuck in cycles of negativity, it's not because you're incapable of change, it's because your mind has been conditioned to focus on the negative. Rewiring your mind for positivity is the key to breaking free from this pattern and creating a life that feels expansive, joyful, and aligned with your potential. The first step in rewiring your mind is becoming aware of the thoughts you're thinking. Most of the time, people operate on autopilot, unaware of the internal dialogue running through their minds. These automatic thoughts often stem from fear, self-doubt, and past experiences. By pausing and observing your thoughts, you gain clarity about the patterns that have been controlling your emotional state. Awareness is the foundation for change because you can't transform what you don't acknowledge. Once you're aware of your negative thought patterns, the next step is to challenge them. Your mind often exaggerates or distorts reality, creating scenarios that fuel anxiety or self-sabotage. When a negative thought arises, ask yourself, is this thought true? Is it helpful? What evidence do I have to support or refute it? This process of questioning helps you separate fact from fiction and allows you to dismantle the limiting beliefs that have been holding you back. Replacing negative thoughts with positive ones is the core of mental rewiring. Every time you catch a thought like I can't do this or things never work out for me, consciously replace it with a thought like I am capable of figuring this out or I am resourceful and resilient. It's not about ignoring reality or pretending challenges don't exist. It's about choosing thoughts that empower you to take action and move forward. With consistent practice, these empowering thoughts become your new default. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools for rewiring your mind. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you shift your attention from scarcity to abundance. This shift rewires your brain to seek out the good in every situation, no matter how small it may seem. Start each day by listing 3 things you're grateful for and watch how this simple practice trains your mind to focus on positivity throughout the day. Gratitude rewires your brain by creating new neural pathways that reinforce feelings of contentment and joy. Visualization is another effective method for cultivating positivity. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a vividly imagined scenario and a real one, which means that visualizing positive outcomes can create the same neural connections as experiencing them. Take a few minutes each day to close your eyes and imagine yourself succeeding, thriving, and feeling happy. Visualize the details, the sights, sounds, and emotions until it feels real. This practice not only boosts your mood, but also primes your brain to look for opportunities that align with your vision. Your environment also plays a critical role in rewiring your mind. Surround yourself with people, content, and activities that inspire positivity and growth. Limit exposure to negativity, whether it's from toxic relationships, social media, or news consumption. Your mind absorbs what it's exposed to repeatedly, so be intentional about curating an environment that supports your journey toward positivity. By surrounding yourself with uplifting influences, you reinforce the patterns of thought that serve your highest potential. Affirmations are a powerful tool for shifting your mindset. Positive affirmations are short, empowering statements that you repeat to yourself daily to reprogram your subconscious mind. Statements like I am worthy, I am enough, or I attract positive opportunities. Create a ripple effect in your thoughts and beliefs. Consistency is key. Say these affirmations with conviction, even if you don't fully believe them at first. Over time, they will become a natural part of your internal dialogue, replacing the negative self-talk that used to dominate. Another essential aspect of rewiring your mind is letting go of perfectionism. Negativity often stems from unrealistic expectations and the pressure to be perfect. When you reframe your mistakes as opportunities to learn and grow, you free yourself from the fear of failure. This shift in perspective allows you to focus on progress instead of perfection. By celebrating small wins and embracing imperfections, you create a positive feedback loop that encourages growth and self-compassion. Rewiring your mind for positivity also requires managing your physiology. Your physical state directly affects your mental state. Movement, deep breathing, and even changing your posture can help shift your thoughts. Exercise releases endorphins, which naturally boost your mood and energy levels. Practicing mindfulness and meditation helps you train your mind to stay present, reducing anxiety about the future or regret of the past. These practices reinforce a calm and focused state, making it easier to maintain positivity. Lastly, remember that rewiring your mind is a process, not a one-time event. Just as it took time to develop negative thought patterns, it takes time and consistent effort to replace them with positive ones. Be patient with yourself as you navigate this journey. Celebrate the progress you're making, no matter how small it may seem. Every positive thought you choose, every moment of gratitude you practice, and every time you challenge a limiting belief, you're strengthening the neural pathways that lead to a more positive, fulfilling, and empowered life.